It was just past midnight when Emily, exhausted from a long day at work, stepped onto the 47B bus heading downtown Chicago. The streets were nearly deserted, streetlights flickering like they were struggling to stay alive. A thin mist rolled along the sidewalks, softening the light into ghostly shapes. Emily clutched her backpack, hoping the warmth of her apartment would be enough to calm her nerves. But a deep unease lingered in her chest. The bus smelled of stale coffee, faint sweat, and something indefinably metallic. A few passengers were scattered across the seats, sitting silently, their faces swallowed by the dim overhead lights. Emily chose a seat near the back, her eyes flicking nervously across the dark windows as familiar streets blurred into an unfamiliar night. The engine growled, low and throaty, like an awakening beast. A chill ran down Emily's spine. Something wasn't right. She told herself it was exhaustion, or the eerie quiet of the city, playing tricks on her mind. But the feeling only deepened. The silence inside the bus was suffocating. Occasionally, a soft cough or shuffle broke it, but no one looked at her. The driver, a pale, almost spectral man, didn't acknowledge her. He stared straight ahead, unblinking, his eyes reflecting nothing. About 10 minutes into the ride, the bus took a turn Emily did not recognize. Familiar downtown streets disappeared, replaced by narrow, winding roads flanked by trees that seemed to lean over the asphalt like skeletal arms. Streetlights were gone entirely, leaving only the faint interior glow of the bus. Emily's stomach churned. Where is this going? She whispered. She reached for her phone, no signal. GPS didn't work. Nothing. Just the low hum of the engine and the occasional squeak of tires over uneven pavement. Then she heard it. A whisper, almost a hiss, coming from the empty seat across from her. Emily froze. The seat was empty. She blinked. Surely it was her imagination, but the whisper came again, louder. Get off. Da da da. Double quotes. Her heart raced. The few passengers seemed frozen, staring straight ahead, their faces masks of blank emptiness. The driver's eyes reflected nothing, like mirrors. Panic rose, but the bus didn't stop. She was trapped. Emily grabbed her backpack and tried the doors. Locked. The emergency release lever did nothing. Whispers grew louder, now surrounding her, incoherent and guttural, like dozens of voices trapped underwater, screaming to escape. A shadow moved at the far end of the bus. Emily's breath caught. It wasn't a person, its form was elongated, liquid, impossible. The lights flickered, and for a brief moment, she saw its face. Empty eye sockets and a wide, toothless grin stretching across a pale, featureless head. She ran down the aisle, but the bus seemed longer than it should be, seats twisting endlessly in impossible ways. She turned back. The creature had vanished. Then it appeared behind her, reflected in the window, leaning impossibly close. "Why are you here?" it hissed, a voice inside her skull. Emily screamed, pounding the windows. Nothing. The bus didn't stop. Suddenly, the lights went out. Absolute darkness. Whispers turned into agonized screams. She felt hot, sticky hands brush against her arms, pulling, gripping, trying to drag her into the shadows. When the lights flickered back on, Emily was alone. The bus was empty. The driver was gone. The world outside was no longer city streets. It was a black void dotted with faint flickers, like distant stars. The doors hissed open. Emily jumped out, but instead of asphalt, she landed on cold, wet earth. Fog rolled thickly around her, and twisted, endless trees stretched into the darkness. She was in a forest, one that shouldn't exist, not on any map. The bus drove past her again, windows reflecting the void, headlights cutting through nothing. Inside, shadows danced, faceless figures reaching toward her. Then the bus vanished, swallowed by the darkness, leaving only whispers. "You belong to the night now." Dot 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 dot. Doubly ran, but the whispers followed, wrapping around her mind. Every tree branch reached for her. Every shadow hid a watching presence. She realized with a sickening certainty that escape was impossible. The bus hadn't taken her somewhere, it had taken her reality. She felt a damp chill on her neck and turned. There were now multiple silhouettes, humanoid but distorted, faces twisted beyond recognition. They swayed toward her, humming a low, vibrating sound that pressed on her skull. Emily knew the only way to survive was not to look at them. She ran deeper into the fog, listening to whispers that were now a mixture of curse and prayer. Each step was heavy, legs sinking in wet earth, heart hammering. Then, something new appeared. A second bus, identical to the 47B, appearing from the fog in reverse, headlights glaring at her. This bus was empty except for a single figure sitting at the back. Emily squinted. It looked like her, a mirror of herself, pale, eyes hollow. Her double waved at her, smiling unnaturally. "Join me," it whispered. Emily's legs froze. Fear rooted her to the spot. The ground beneath her shifted, the forest stretched impossibly, the trees bending toward her, twisting, elongating. Her reflection stepped out of the bus, moving closer, each step echoing in the void. Suddenly, the original 47B reappeared in front of her, doors wide open. Emily realized there were two choices. The familiar bus that had started this nightmare, or the second bus, which mirrored her, promising something horrifyingly intimate. Her heart screamed. She ran toward the first bus. As she jumped inside, the forest disappeared. But something was wrong. The interior was empty. No driver, no passengers. The windows reflected nothing but infinite darkness. The whispers, faint now, had not left. "You cannot leave." Emily spun around, seeing dozens of reflections of herself, all trapped inside the bus, all staring with hollow eyes. She stumbled back, and the floor beneath her shifted, bending into a black abyss. The bus jolted violently, driving itself faster into the void. Emily's scream echoed endlessly. She realized she was not a passenger, she had become part of the bus, one of the trapped reflections. And somewhere, far away, another version of her, living her life in the real world, would soon board the 47B past midnight. They say if you ride the 47B after midnight, you may never return. The bus drives itself, picking up passengers who shouldn't be there, delivering them to a place existing only in nightmares. And sometimes, late at night, if you listen closely, you can hear the whispers. "Get off. Get off. Get off."